What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of A Therapeutic Edge. Today on the table in front of us we have what's that you ask? What is underneath the knife? That is my Sharp Spot Hank, sent to me by Dusty. She sent one to me and one to Women Carry Knives for us to take a look at and check out. And I gotta tell you, these things are remarkably well made. The fabric is soft, everything is smooth, the lines are great, the fabrics are fun. These are excellent. If you like Hanks, if you like to have them around to do knife reviews on, or to keep things clean, or just to keep one in your pocket, the Sharp Spot does an excellent job with their Hanks. I recommend it. And in fact, this is going to stay on the table for the rest of you because I love the rainbows and donuts. I mean, who wouldn't? Check them out if you haven't. All right, let's get to the knife. So this is the VDK Goat. And this is one of those knives that when it was reviewed originally, you can find reviews on a number of other channels. My initial thought was, I don't want that. And here's why. I don't like hawkbill knives, it turns out. I've had a couple of really good ones that have actually moved on because of it. So I never was interested in one of these. And then recently on a Facebook page that I belong to, a friend of mine put one of these up for sale at the right price. And I said, yeah, okay, I'll bite. It'll be fun at least to review and then I can move it on. And then a funny thing happened. It showed up, and I love this knife. I just do. Hawkbill be damned. It is just great in hand. It is 3.75 inches of D2 steel, done really well. It is hollow ground at the edge, and so it's really fine through here. You know, for push cuts or long dragging cuts, this thing is spectacular. I marred up some cardboard pretty good just as a test. And really enjoyed myself because the way this thing is built to grip, it's just comfortable and does a really good job. It sits in the pocket pretty well. The pocket clip is actually a little, I don't know, it's a little close to the scale for me for a knife this heavy. It makes getting it into thicker jeans a little more complicated than you imagine. And this ramp, well, you know, this ramp catches on stuff. But beyond that, considering its size, this thing sits in the pocket exceptionally well. And it does take up a fair amount of pocket real estate, but what do you expect? This is an 8.6 ounce knife. It is designed to be a brute, and it is. Now VDK makes some really expensive knives. They make something called the War Admiral and others. They are in the hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This new is $125 and worth it as far as I can tell. It is just, it's stupid fun. It really is. If you like big bruiser knives, tanks, you're going to love this thing. The handle is designed in such a way that it really does lock in. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this sort of forced finger placement. Let's put it that way, because I have really big hands, and often that's a problem for me. But if you look, it just locks right in. I have big hands. If you had slightly smaller hands, it might fit a little better. I'm not really sure what this is all about down here. I don't think that well, yeah, okay, you could get your pinky over that if you were going to swing this thing like an axe. You wouldn't, but you could do that, I suppose. And, you know, if you're the gas station fight type, this thing is mean. It is, and that hawkbill makes it almost a karambit in the way that the blade lifts. So if you're, you know, upswing, you catch a, you know, I don't look out on knife fight, but I assume that's important. Anyway, this is a great knife. You know, overall length is 8.75 inches, which is totally reasonable for how much knife you get. The blade itself is done remarkably well. Now, I'm not a huge DLC fan. I don't like coated blades. But this one is done, and I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, where it actually has a little bit of texture built into it. When I first got it, I thought, oh, the DLC's beat up. But upon looking at other reviews, I learned that they did that on purpose just for that reason. This knife is built to use, and if the DLC is perfectly smooth and pristine, you're always a little hesitant to mar it up or scratch it. But they gave this thing a working finish, and I love that about this knife. You know, I'm a huge fan of black, silver, and gray knives. The fact that this had tan scales, my initial thought was, well, I'm going to dye those out. But you know what? This looks great this way. It really does. Now, the secondary market, these are much more reasonably priced, you know, between 50 and about $80, depending on where you get it and the condition. If you're looking for a big beast of a knife that has multi-purpose, multifunction, but most importantly, is just super fun to flick and close. I mean, the action on this thing is so good. And that little tiny flipper tab never fails. You just can't beat it. So if you're looking for a knife that, of course, is very tough and cool, then this is a knife for you. But more importantly, if you're looking for a knife that's just fun to own and play with, the VDK Goat is such a way to go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.